Now, a lot of you guys have been asking me to reveal my top 10 favorite anime moments of all time, and this was actually tough for me to do. It took me some time to really think about it. I didn't want to half-ass it for you guys. I wanted to make sure that you guys actually got my perfect top 10 moments, and even though this top 10 may not be perfect, it's as close as I'm gonna get for right now. These moments may be all over the place. They may be fight scenes, they may be emotional moments, but I wanted to pick a personal 10 for me that resonated with me and share them with you guys. First up, I'm going with Uvogin versus the Shadow Beast. Now, if you're a Hunter x Hunter fan like myself out there, you know how ridiculous this series is. But this moment in particular stays in my mind forever when it comes to Hunter. And the reason why is it really highlighted how dangerous this world was as soon as Uvogin was introduced. We were hearing things about the Shadow Beast early on, if you remember, as a Hunter x Hunter fan. They hyped up the Shadow Beast. They let us know that the Shadow Beasts were a special force of elite Nen users that were gonna come through and do their thing, and then you see Uvogin literally destroys all of them. And it wasn't even the fact that he destroyed them, it was the way he did it. He is literally taking a bite out of one of their heads and then spitting the skull fragments to attack another. It is ridiculous. This scene to me made Hunter x Hunter on a completely different level than most series, because it let me know that there are people in this series that may die. We know there's a common trope in a lot of shonen anime where the characters are really not going to die because of the plot. Hunter x Hunter is not one of those series. Anybody can lose their life in a blink of an eye, and this scene highlighted that perfectly for me. Next up is a scene from our beloved series Naruto. And I'm not even referring to what was going on in Shippuden. I'm actually going to talk about Naruto Part 1. Naruto and Sasuke's battle on the hospital roof resonated with me more than any other scene in Naruto.
Hey, what's with that look?
I want you to fight me. Fight me now.
What?
You gotta remember, when the series first started, Naruto was low tier in the academy. Everyone looked down on him. His skill set obviously was not up to snuff, and everyone revered Sasuke. He obviously was one of the remaining members of the Uchiha clan. They looked at his power, they looked at his skill set, they looked at everything, and Sasuke was that guy. And Sasuke not only was that guy, but he made sure he let Naruto know at every moment that he was better than him. A lot of you guys know that I play basketball. I'm not a pro or anything like that, but you know, I still like to play every now and then. And growing up, especially early on, even though I loved the sport, I was trash. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it any other way. When I was in middle school, it was so bad. I mean, I had kids around the place talking about taking a Robert shot, made sure the shot hit the side of the backboard, the top of the backboard, went behind the backboard, air ball, whatever it was, that was the Robert shot. I was the last to get picked up, and I got cut. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. I remember that feeling of being the person that everyone was making fun of, but that moment was so important for my development. And I'm gonna tell you why. I made sure that every morning when I went to school, I had my parents drop me off early before school even started to get some shots up. Right before homeroom, right before the first bell, first period, I was putting shots up outside of the middle school. If we look at Naruto's character, Naruto was a person that knew that if he wanted to become Hokage, if he wanted to be one of the greatest shinobi of all time, that Sasuke was somebody that he was gonna have to surpass. But Sasuke making fun of him, Sasuke looking down on him actually helped expedite the process. It expedited it so much so that Sasuke was starting to see how powerful he was before his very eyes, and it not only made Sasuke jealous and angry, but it actually scared Sasuke.
I swear I'll protect you. Okay, don't hit me.
There's a moment where Sasuke ran into his brother Itachi and tried to take him down, and Itachi let him know, listen, I'm not even worried about you. My focus is on Naruto. You're not worth my time. That obviously pissed Sasuke off.
You're still too weak.
But the hospital scene for me was goated, because that was the moment where Naruto was trying to look out for Sasuke. He was trying to make sure Sasuke was all right, and Sasuke was so locked in on his feelings that he was like, to hell with all that. Naruto, what's up? Fight me now. Prove to me that you are actually better. You think you're better than me? Let's see what's good. And Naruto didn't back down. He actually was looking forward to it. He actually was happy that Sasuke was recognizing his skill set. He actually was happy that Sasuke was realizing that all those years he looked down on him, that he was building a monster.
What jutsu is that? I'll win no matter what!
It resonates with real life. People that count you out, people that are looking down on you, are literally helping you develop if you use it the right way. If you use those insults as motivation to get better. You know what Naruto did on that roof. And if you don't know, now you know. Even though Sasuke broke out the Chidori, it did nowhere near the level of damage of Naruto's Rasengan. That's how elite Naruto became, and it hurt Sasuke so much to the point that he went rogue. He left Konoha and went to go train with Orochimaru. He had to find power outside of Naruto. He had to get away from Naruto because he realized that now Naruto is stronger than he is. Best believe when I went to high school, I made that team. I was not getting dropped off, I was not getting cut, and I made sure I improved every single year. That scene hits home because it speaks directly to the doubters in my life and to the doubters in your lives as well. Don't worry about what anybody has to say about you. You know yourself, and the only thing that can really stop you is you. And Naruto is a perfect example of that in this hospital fight on the roof with Sasuke. I gotta love it. It's in my top 10. Next, we have a scene from one of my favorite underrated anime of all time, in the Law of Ueki. You guys have heard me speak about the Law of Ueki so many times now, and I will continue to speak about it. It is one of my favorite anime from when I was a kid, and I still watch scenes from this anime to this day. If you want to know who is my favorite shonen main protagonist of all time, Ueki is in that conversation. Definitely tap into this series. But don't go in there expecting Demon Slayer level animation. I mean, you have to be fair with the times it came out in, okay? Good. Ueki's a protagonist that had to go through a lot. He did not have the skill set that everyone wanted him to have, you know, typical shonen protagonist stuff, but there's a difference in his series than other series. The main villain, Anon, actually went up against the god of Law of Ueki. Now, a lot of you guys who haven't seen Law of Ueki really won't understand how ridiculous this is. Ueki is in a competition trying to prove himself to this god and the others how elite he is. But the god who is running the competition gets into a fight with the same villain that Ueki Kosuke has to deal with later on in the series. Now, a lot of you guys may be saying, well, Rob, why is this important? Anon not only defeats this god, but he eats him. He absorbs the god. He literally eats the god in the Law of Ueki. Not only is this scene hilarious because of the way Anon does it, I mean, he literally just says itadakimasu and takes him out. It's hilarious how he does it. I still make inside jokes with my cousin about it to this day, but it really painted a picture of how ridiculous of a mountain that Ueki would have to climb to be where he needs to be. That moment to me made me become such a big Law of Ueki fan, because now it made me look at Ueki and say, how are you going to beat this? One of my favorite moments in the Law of Ueki, hands down. This next moment, honestly, I don't even know how to put it into words, but it's giving me chills just talking about it. It is from my favorite anime series of all time, One Piece. For the people who have not tapped into One Piece because it's too long or anything like that, I really implore you to give the series a shot. For the people that have watched it or watched a little piece but say it's ass, I won't be able to change your mind, but just still watch this moment because it's incredible. For all my One Piece fans, when the words Raizo Dono is safe are stated, you remember how powerful that scene was. Now, clearly there are so many moments in One Piece. You have Robin saying she wants to live, all of these things. One Piece has so many emotional moments, so many powerful moments, but this scene spoke to me because of the way Oda built this up. From the beginning of Punk Hazard, characters like Kinemon and Kanjuro were introduced, but they always kept the name Raizo alive. We didn't know who Raizo was, what his importance was to the story, what was going on, but we just knew that Kinemon and Kanjuro were looking for Raizo. Fast forward to Zou, and we find out that Raizo's way more important than we initially thought. All-Star Jack from Kaido's camp finds his way on Zou. He destroys their village, destroys their homeland, attacks women and children, goes absolutely crazy, poisons the whole land, and actually ends up killing people. And you know the question he was asking everybody? Where is Raizo? And the minks kept telling Jack, Raizo's not here. Stop hurting us. Stop attacking us. We're gonna defend ourselves, but stop trying to kill us. We don't know where Raizo is. Leave us alone. Get off Zou. And the moment they arrive, the minks show them love and let them know that Raizo Dono is safe. This is one of the most chilling moments in One Piece for me, because this is literally keeping the faith to a T. This is what Oda was trying to teach us in this particular anime moment. They were holding on to a hope that the 9 scabbards would return one day to reverse the wrongdoings that are happening to the land of Wano, to the relationship that the minks had with the people of Wano, and all of these things. They were banking on Odin's squad to return, who everybody else around the world believed to be dead. They were keeping this faith alive and were protecting Raizo for all this time. Nobody was able to confirm it. It was them keeping the faith. Now, this next moment is interesting because it comes from a new gen and it does get a lot of hate for some reason. But this was a moment that actually made this series one of my favorite new gen anime of all time, if not my number one. I'm talking about a scene from the series called Black Clover. There was a moment where Asta and the Black Bulls and a couple of the Golden Dawn members in these things were sent on a mission to go through a dungeon early on in the series, and they handled their business, got the job done, and Julius, the Wizard King, wanted to give them their flowers. So he said, you know what? I'm gonna invite you guys to a Magic Night decoration ceremony. Let's see what's going on. Let's bring you guys in. And I believe this was a test from the Wizard King. But Asta, Noel, Mimosa, Klaus, Yuno were thrown into the lion's den with all of the higher ups, the top tier senior executive Magic Knights that were looking down on them, looking at Asta calling him a peasant, looking at Yuno saying he's a peasant, looking at Mimosa saying you're part of the Vermilion family but you can't get the job done, you stink. Noelle even had to face her own Silva family. It got to the point where Solid Silva was literally pouring drinks on Noelle's head, telling her that she's trash. And her siblings did not forget to remind her that they blame her for their mother's death. That's how wicked it got. But I love this scene. I love this scene because this was the moment where Asta let us know that it's time. He said, you know what? Y'all can make fun of me. I know where I come from. I don't come from a rich background. I don't come from nobility. I understand that. But once you start attacking my people, once you start attacking my squad, my friends, my family, it's up. And not only did he say that he's going to make sure he speaks up for Noelle and others, but he told all of them in that room straight up what he was going to do, that he was going to build up his merit, that he was going to become the Wizard King, and that he was going to shut everybody up. If we fast forward to what's going on in Black Clover right now, Asa has not become the Wizard King yet, but he has already shut people up. And just seeing how much he's progressed to now, it really highlights how powerful that scene is. For this next moment, watching this scene spoke to me on a different level when I was much younger. Growing up, we've all had people that we had crushes on, liked, saw from across the hallway, but did not have the confidence to have a conversation with them to let them know how you felt. And we also were able to see the result of us not speaking up when it was time to speak up. I'm speaking about a moment from a series called Gurren Lagann. The main protagonist, Simon, was a character that did not have a lot of confidence in himself, similar to how I was growing up. Did not have confidence in myself at all either. But there was somebody he had his eye on, character by the name of Yoko. We noticed very early on that Simon was attracted to her, but he did not have the confidence in himself to say anything to her.
네, 시몬.
The one person that was giving Simon confidence was Kamina, his brother basically. I mean, they were that close, they were that tight. And what did he find out? He saw Yoko and Kamina making out right in front of his very eyes. And that crushed him. He felt that pain immediately because not only was Yoko making out with somebody else, not only did Yoko like somebody else, not him, but it happened to be his boy. That's tough. We all know how it feels to like somebody who ends up liking somebody else. We've all been there through school or whatever the case may be. But to see Simon bounce back from that situation, to see Simon elevate from that situation, really highlights how powerful that scene is. That scene really spoke to me because I have been in that situation. There definitely was a time where I had a crush on a girl in my grade school years and I didn't say anything. And then when it was time to speak up, when it was time to say something, oh, somebody else is in the picture. It was too late. You missed your shot. I've been there. So watching that scene and seeing how Simon was able to elevate himself and grow from that and actually get stronger and get better was something that really spoke to me, because that was something that I wanted to take in my life and make sure that, all right, you take that hit to the heart, you take that hit to the chest, let's keep moving, let's keep growing, let's keep going. And honestly, it's a top 10, top 5 anime moment for me. It resonates with me, and that's what it is. Whew. This next scene is so powerful. It's from one of my favorite anime of all time. It is so powerful. I am talking about the anime Code Geass. We all love some Lelouch. Well, not actually. I mean, there's a lot of Lelouch haters out there. I actually found out recently how many people out there do not like Lelouch. That's something I will never truly understand, because I feel like Lelouch is the main reason why Code Geass is so loved. But I believe that the ending of Code Geass, Lelouch's death scene, is one of the most powerful moments, one of the greatest anime endings together of all time. I mean, Lelouch literally put the world's hatred on his back and sacrificed himself for the greater good of the world. He wanted everybody in the world to join hands, to join together, and he realized that the only way to do that was to make the world have a common enemy. So he made sure that he played the role as the enemy. And it was something that Suzaku, a character who I cannot stand, played a major role in helping him execute. So you have to give Suzaku credit there. He was the zero, quote unquote, in that situation. You get to see Nunnally's reaction to seeing her brother literally get stabbed and bleed out right in front of her. I mean, that's how morbid, that's how wild the scene was, but it was so powerful. The world had to join forces right after that, and Lelouch carefully, strategically put this plan in place. It is one of the most touching scenes in all of anime for me. I think it is so powerful, and I think it speaks to Lelouch's character. But we're gonna move on from Code Geass because I want to talk about a series that we all know. It is actually a series that was able to make so many people become anime fans within the West. I am talking about Dragon Ball Z. Yes, one of the scenes from Dragon Ball Z actually did make my top 10, believe it or not. I know a lot of people like to pretty much talk trash about Dragon Ball Z nowadays because of the pacing and the animation with New Gen and all these things. I'm not a part of that camp. You can say it's nostalgia, you can say whatever you want. I still think Dragon Ball Z can stand the test of time. And the reason why is because of this scene right here. I am talking about Majin Vegeta's final atonement.
Trunks, Bulma, I do this for you. And yes, even for you, Kakarot.
Vegeta was the Prince of All Saiyans. He lets us know almost at every moment within the series that he was the heir to the throne. He was next up after his father, King Vegeta, to rule the planet of the Saiyans, planet Vegeta. We get all of that. But not only was that stripped away from him from Frieza, but he got to see a lower class Saiyan by the name of Kakarot, who we know as Goku, surpassed him in strength. And again, a lot of us give Vegeta crap for that, but you have to remember how Vegeta was raised. Vegeta was raised to be a Saiyan warrior who was supposed to go to planets, take over them, overpower them. He was supposed to be the second strongest, that he was the heir to the throne. His father was the king, he was the prince. He was promised these things from a young age. So imagine seeing somebody that is quote unquote a commoner in your eyes surpass you. Goku was not raised to be a Saiyan warrior. He was dropped on Earth when he was a baby. That would make anybody in that situation not only feel jealous, but feel anger. But the final atonement is one of the most powerful scenes because it's the first time we get to see Vegeta actually self-reflect.
It's time. Hurry. You'll die. You know that.
He's not just doing it for Bulma or anything like that. He really needs to understand what issues he has with Goku, what issues he has with himself, and what he needs to work on. Vegeta became a quote-unquote Z fighter, a good guy, and he had to use Babidi's magic to help reawaken his Saiyan pride, his evil within his heart, so he would have the energy, so he would have the mental fortitude to say, you know what, it is time to fight Goku. Was that the right decision? Obviously not. We all give Vegeta crap for that, and we should, because Vegeta should not have killed people in the world tournament and all these things just to fight Goku. It was a trash decision. But when you understand how much pride was bruised, how much of Goku and Vegeta's egos were at play, I mean, even somebody like Gohan did not truly understand what the severity was like for Vegeta in those coming moments. Majin Vegeta and Goku fight, and as they're fighting, they realize that Majin Buu is absorbing their energy and he's about to hatch. Vegeta says, you know what, it's time for me to play Hero Ball. Goku, you've played Hero Ball. If we're fighting each other in a 1v1 and this can't be settled right now, then I'll knock you out and prove to you that I can play Hero Ball, that I can be the hero, I can be the main character of this story. And when he realized that that might not be possible because he's not ready yet, he finally said, you know what, I'm gonna take the first step. He had a conversation with Piccolo and asked Piccolo where he was gonna end up. He knew that fighting against Buu was not going to end with him surviving.
When you die, you will not receive the same reward. Oh well.
And he bit the bullet and he actually went through with it. Vegeta sacrificed himself for everybody. It was just an unreal moment, because to see Vegeta do that was something that even shocked a Piccolo. After Piccolo told him that if you kill yourself right now, Vegeta, you know where you're going. You're not going to be where Goku is in the afterlife. You're going to be going to hell. And Vegeta said, so be it. I gotta go through it this anyway. I gotta make amends. I got to atone for my sins. Truly one of the most powerful moments in Dragon Ball Z. I mean, you get to see Vegeta's eye twitch while Piccolo is relaying this information to him, because it is showing Vegeta, even though he's in this super angry, mad state, that he still is worried.
This is the truth.
That he still has human feelings, that there's still something going on within there. Now, these human feelings, obviously he wasn't born with them, but he gained them by living on Earth. A top 10 moment for me. For the second to last moment, I'm talking about an anime that really is a classic. Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho is one of the most beloved main protagonists in all of shonen anime, and we know why. He's cool, he's relatable, he's authentic, but he was thrusted into a situation that not many characters that we know would be able to handle. Died early on and was thrown into a situation where he had to become a spirit detective. He had to learn how to fight. He had to learn how to box. He was thrown into the dark tournament. Luckily, he had a teacher by the name of Genkai to help him out. Genkai and Yusuke's relationship is one of the coolest mentor-student relationships I've seen in all of anime. It is so cool because even though they trash talk each other, even though they are so cold to each other, it is really the perfect definition of tough love. They really love each other. They really show out for each other. And Genkai was protecting Yusuke to the moment she quote-unquote passed.
Grandma,
And at the end of his suffering, at the end of his training, he made sure he did a proper send-off for Genkai. And this moment for me is so powerful because Genkai has a quote that's very, very important. Genkai basically breaks down one of the biggest insecurities that everyone has when they're trying to achieve their dreams, when they're trying to be the greatest in whatever they're trying to achieve.
It's time you bit the bullet and started caring about something with all your heart and energy. But you can't care about it if you're always holding yourself back in case it doesn't work out.
Everyone has this fear that whatever they're going for may not work out. So what they do is they go in half-assed. They put one foot in the pool. They don't jump right in. They only go a little bit because if it doesn't work, they can always hop out the pool and it's like, all right, only one of my legs got wet. It's gonna be all right. I'm gonna be fine. But if you do that, according to Genkai's words, are you really going all out? Are you really actually trying to do it? Are you actually trying to chase your dreams? Are you actually trying to be the greatest? Because if that were the case, you would sacrifice everything to get that done. But if it doesn't work out, you're gonna say, well, see, look, it didn't work out. So I was right not to go all in. But Genkai says that's the wrong mindset. That mindset is you literally proving to yourself that you lost before you even started. Such a powerful message. Yusuke really understood what Genkai was talking about when she was gone. And that's why it impacted him so much more. He made sure he gave her a proper send-off. He made sure that when it was time to fight Toguro, that he was gonna go all out. That anime moment really, really spoke to me on a personal level. A lot of you guys watching this channel don't realize that that was one of the scenes that helped me do what I'm doing right now. I mean, doing YouTube is not really an easy task to handle. Obviously, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. There's a ton of ups and downs, but I can definitely say, to prove Genkai's words, that if I did not go all in, and if everybody that's been on this channel did not believe in what I'm doing and believe in themselves and go all in, y'all probably would not be watching this video right now. This will be nowhere. And it's a tough reality, but it's also something that I had to realize very early on when creating this channel, very early on when trying to actually chase my dreams and do what I'm doing, because that's one of the ways you're going to elevate and you're going to surprise yourself and get better over time. You have to go all in, all or nothing. Put all the chips out on the table and push them into the middle and bet on yourself, man, because you can't go in halfway. I know there's a fear of failure, but everybody has that fear of failure. Genkai is literally teaching us how to tackle that fear of failure. One of my favorite scenes of all time. Love it. And for my last scene, I gotta go with, again, my favorite anime series of all time, One Piece. Like I said, there are so many moments in One Piece that make me so happy, make me sad, make me whatever, but they are powerful. But there is a certain character in One Piece who speaks to me on such a personal level. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. One of my favorite characters of all time throughout all anime manga. A character by the name of Whitebeard, Shirohige, Edward Newgate. We all know him. We all love him. If you're a One Piece fan, we know what he meant to the series. But his confidence is so powerful, so felt throughout the series, that even after his death, his name still rings bells. His influence is still felt throughout the world. Whitebeard is one of my favorite characters because he helped me become more confident in myself. Looking into the One Piece world, there's so many different factions. You have pirates, you have marines, you have the Revolutionary Army, you have so many different things going on. But there are people that are so powerful that they sit above the rest. For the pirates, that would happen to be the Yonko, the emperors. And Whitebeard was one of these emperors, and he was so powerful. He was a legend from the old days, that he was revered among the seas as the next up to the throne of the Pirate King. He just did not want to become Pirate King. One of his quote-unquote sons, Portgas the Ace, was taken in thanks to Blackbeard, and now he was being executed, which actually helped jumpstart the Marineford War. When I tell you guys, watching Marines scared for their lives, making sure they called all their troops from around the world to meet in that one spot because Whitebeard's coming. I couldn't get over how powerful those scenes were.
各地で名を挙げる屈強な海兵たちが続々と着工。
From the moment we hear that the Marines are planning to execute Ace on this day and that Whitebeard is not gonna go for that, I'm talking about Whitebeard's entrance to Marineford. And the moment Whitebeard's ship pops up out the water, everybody from the Marines side is shocked. They're concerned. The reason why this scene always gives me chills is because Whitebeard's confidence in himself is so strong that even in the way that he walks, even in the way that he talks, he lets everybody know that he's not scared of anybody or anything. He's going to stand up for what he believes in. He literally has Conqueror's Haki just oozing out of him. I mean, there are characters in One Piece that can get that done, like a Shanks or maybe even a Roger, but Whitebeard being in that camp at his old age was very, very powerful. At his death, we learned that Whitebeard suffered hundreds of wounds, but never one on his back because he never ran away. And we also learned that Whitebeard died standing up. The amount of willpower, resolve, confidence, you can't make this up. Whitebeard is literally confidence personified. He's willpower personified. And he helped me grow as a person. He helped me become more confident in myself in any room that I'm in. I can confidently say that Whitebeard's character has changed my life 100%. I know there's some people out there that may say, well, listen, this is anime, you're taking this too seriously. How are you saying? I don't care what anybody has to say. That character right there that Oda created helped to change my life 100%. Now, obviously, there are some anime moments out there that I may have forgotten to place on this list. Some of you guys may put them down in the comment section below. I may read them and say, oh, I can't believe I forgot this one. It is what it is. These are the 10 that came to me. Make sure you guys leave yours down below. I want to see them. I want to read all of them. I want to see what you guys have in your top 10 anime moments. And honestly, this is cool. We get to learn about each other a little bit more because your top 10 anime moments does say a lot about you. If you actually place them properly though. You have to be really truthful with them. With that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.